there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. In the last part, we wrapped up Astrologian Quest, and now it's time for... Red Mage! So yes, Red Mage is next up, which means Dancer is going to be last. There's no mystery anymore. There's only one job left after this. Ugh, the color of her hair. Arya. I forgot about this part. Arya. Well, there were lessons to be learned as I dragged you along on my quest for vengeance. This time I offered a more structured approach to your training. With the support of you and your companions, Curtis's daughter has liberated Alamigo. But rather than return to it in this moment of glory, I feel I can contribute more to rebuilding my homeland than from without. Thank you. It was 2 decades ago that I joined the revolutionaries. Though our motives were just, it was our actions that ultimately created a breach for the Empire to exploit. My time at the forefront of that stage has ended. To return to it now would only invite confusion and resentment. Revolution has since become the resistance, and the right to shape the future of Alamigo now rests in the hands of those who will live the coming age. No, I shall play my part by nurturing a new generation of Red Mages. I made my mark as a Crimson Duelist. You will not be bound by my oath. You are free to decide for yourselves how best to employ the skills I teach you. Now, as for your studies, you are well aware of my proclivity for practical application. We must challenge you with a new frontier, a place where the strong gather in search of adventure. To Idyllshire, my friends! Alright, to Idyllshire. Which reminds me, haven't I done my Wondrous Tales this week? Good question. Good question. The answer is no. Okay, so let's do days. We're good. Young Arya has invested in her appearance, it would seem. Doesn't she look the part? Right, let's break in that new equipment. There's a hostile organization of goblins known as the Illuminati making trouble for the people here in Idyllshire. The most prominent threat to the populace seems to be the mechanical soldiers controlled by Illuminati aggressors. I say we do the locals a favor by using these collected contraptions as combat practice. After your battle with Lambert, however, that may be all they amount to, especially for you, Arya. Your mastery of red magic is such now that I dare say you could handle a mechanical soldier or two on your own. As for you, Arya, your spells have raw power, but lack refinement. I think I would prefer to have you training alongside a partner. I wish to try fighting alone. Please understand, before I began learning magic, I felt like I scarcely existed. When I work to match you and Arya, when I see myself improving, that's when I feel the most alive. I want not more than to become a full-fledged Red Mage. I want to stand at your side and fight as your equal. Well, far be it from you to stop you. Mayhap the perfect way to conquer your difficulties with white magic is to be alone in a situation which offers you little recourse but to rise above them. Both of you should now head to Architecton and find your own mechanical foes to overcome. I will be waiting for you here in the Maker's Quarter. Eastern Time. Get out to the Eastern Highlands. So we're coming out again. I see you sense the presence of a powerful mark and realize that someone is low manning. Soloing Pale Rider. No, that's not gonna happen again. Okay. Not this time, huh? Wait, really? What's with the... There we are. So weird seeing triple triad matches on the map again. I've cleared out all of the ones as of patch 5.55 on my main character, so it's like, oh gosh, these triple triad matches on the map again. It's so weird. At least I think I've cleared them out. Other ones I can access, I think there's like one I don't have access to via Beast Tribe stuff, but I'm not too worried about it. Oh, I see a hunt. Oh, you didn't die! How could you do this to me? Okay, well there's that. I'm just still hunt over here, right? Yeah, Falsk against a Topeth Kiss. Really, because I just don't come here enough to see the A ranks around here. Oh, there you are. Ah, I've come to recognize that confidence up. Well done, Arya. Did you happen to spot Arya on your travels? Unless I have sorely underestimated her abilities, I would have expected her to arrive not long after you. Arya did seem intent on proving herself. Pray forgive the tortured metaphor, but I have a feeling she may have sliced off more than she could fry. Come, let's seek out our young mage and render aid if need be. Right over this way. Like, I barely even know where not spawn in this area. I know a few areas, but not too much. Arya, I did it. I won. I just know that one spot off the top of my head. Arya, there you are. Is Arya unharmed? God, I forgot how weird this is. Really good. My, that is a fair gathering of goblins. From the looks of it, defeating this lot took almost everything she had. Can you walk, my friend? I've never seen you so. Give them to me. Your life energies, your soul. I must feed. Her hair. She's becoming like Lambard. She's become like Lambard. Stop this, Arya. There's no use. The hunger's taken over. Well, to knock her senseless. Suggest we take her back to Idleshire and let her rest over Wayna's establishment. I only hope she will be more amenable to discussions when she awakes. What happened? Did I truly attack you? God, why would I do such a thing? I remember defeating that contraption. I remember falling to my knees, exhausted from spellcasting. I remember my thoughts fading away as a roar in my head grew louder and louder, and then nothing. I don't understand what possessed me. Never would I draw my blade on you or Zrun. This was poor judgment on my part. I should not have tested you so harshly. Listen to me carefully now, Arya. Arya, not Arya. I have seen how battle can exhaust you, but I fail to understand what grim truth such as Jocelyn presaged. In the moment you say a roaring drowned out your thoughts, the color of your hair changed quite distinctly. We witnessed a similar transformation in Lambard ere he began to feed upon living ether. Lambard was able to employ magics of incredible power, but it left him hungry for life force. I believe what you experienced was a surrender to that very same hunger. It cannot be. My erstwhile colleague described how he enacted a change in his physical being. I suppose it's possible that such a ritual was performed upon you as well. He mentioned the process requiring many years. You have many more questions, I'm sure, but for now you must rest. As hunger takes hold when your ether is exhausted, it is even more important that you recuperate from your exertions. And Arya, do not despair that you have lost yourself. After all, you are in perfect control now, are you not? I think I am. Thank you, Zrun. Arya, we will seek to cure the Arya's condition. Though I have little knowledge of such forbidden art, I'm confident that her expedition will yield the answers we require. Prepare yourself for another journey. Alright. Traced in blood. Are you ready to depart? The journey of a mind will take us into the mountains of Girabanya, where we'll visit the ziggurat built by the Red Mages of Eld. Lambert and I once explored those ancient ruins, searching for knowledge of the first incantation of red magic. That was long ago, before we met Curtis and joined the revolution. Before I realized the manner of hidden wisdom for which Lambert had been truly seeking. The emphasis hope has now been overrun by Kikaran, but a thorough expedition should still unearth something of value. Mayhap even the secrets behind Lambert's occult transformation. Arya, my friend, I must ask that you remain here and continue your convalescence. And no spellcasting. I'm going to lick up the flame to lay a candle, and here we can say we know not how suddenly the hunger might return. Yes, of course. Just the thought of what might happen is enough to make me feel ill. We'll be fine in my sickbed, but what of you two? Are you really going to travel all the way to Girabanya just for me? What would you do if the positions were reversed? If Arya were afflicted by a condition and you knew a cure might be found beyond the mountains? What then? Why, I would be out the door in a moment. Thank you, Arya. That you would do respect. So empathetically, whatever. Empathetically is the reason we have no qualms about doing the same for you. Arya's worked so hard to master her skills. I imagine it'll be hard to refrain from training for a while, but she must recover from her exhaustion first before aught else. Come, Arya. The liquor awaits. Rest well, Arya. So we have to do it in quick succession like that. We shall return as swiftly as we are able. Let's begin our expedition, shall we? Be on the lookout for stone tablets bearing the histories of the Red. Did I mention that it was our ore-bearers in the art who constructed the ziggurat? It was built to suppress the unstable weather that whipped up in the wake of that era's calamity, sort of dampening weight that slowed the land's raging currents of ether to a trickle. In time, however, the ziggurat also became a library, where successive generations of red mages enshrined their stories and their secrets. It's a shame that so many of these precious slates have been lost to plunderers, or simply worn down by the ravages of time. As such, I do not expect to find a fully intact record of Lambert's ghastly ride, but at the very least, we should discover hints of what the transformation ritual entails. If we take one way, I'll take another, and we'll both take care not to fall prey to Kikaran bandits. I seem to recall having a hard time finding these. I guess this one's down on the ground. Can I do this? Someone over there doing the story. Hello, person doing the story. Looks like you are a machinist, judging by animations. Yeah, looks like a machinist, judging by those animations. I played a little bit of machinist, okay, so I think I know. Hello, you're just standing right out in the open here? How did you fare? I discovered the number of tablets myself, which, well, positively fascinating, offered little on the subject of occult rituals. Oh ho! If I'm reading this one correctly, you may have found exactly what we were looking for. It appears to be a record from a time before red magic was unified as a distinct discipline. The passage describes a rite by which one can make a pact with the Voidsit and ingest its blood in exchange for supernatural power. Even among their kin, certain creatures of the void harbor a voracious appetite for living ether. Lambert must have acquired the ability to siphon his victim's life force from one such fiend. The practice in question is said to have started with a family of Maki sorcerers who lived in the era preceding the Sixth Underworld calamity. Red mages, whose arts draw so heavily upon their own ether, There's an obvious, if distasteful, advantage of stealing a foe's life energies. And if one can employ such energies to fortify and sustain one's own form, as Lambert did, then one can even wield magics beyond the limitations of ordinary mortals. Not surprisingly, however, its tendency to result in ether-starved madmen led to the rite being declared a forbidden art. There's more. Some mention of an alchemical concoction that would starve to sate the hunger of ether when living prey were unavailable. And a helpful scribe has even included a method for its preparation. Arya's transformation was strikingly similar to Lambert's. Surely this concoction will prove effective at curbing her condition as well. Let's see here. So the main ingredient is a chunk of semi-crystallized ether. So this substance could be drawn from the core of an urolith, and I'm thinking the bigger the better. If I recall correctly, there are uroliths to be found in the east in the vicinity of the Sleeping Stones. Pray find yourself one of the larger specimens and procure an ethereal core. Once you have what we need, we can rendezvous in the hamlet of Alagana. I shall busy myself collecting the other ingredients. Thank goodness for flying. Hello. Random lookout spot. Grab that real quick. As one does. Looking below me, see if there's any hunts around. I don't want to try to mess with... Oh, there is. There's a Crapu Milu. Speaking of, I don't really want to try and solo a level 70 A rank. It's like a 20-minute fight for level 80, so... And a 20-minute fight for solo level 80, so... No thank you. Like those ones. Grab this one. That should smash it to pieces. I really don't feel like flying all the way back, so I'm gonna be lazy. Supposedly, like right here, in an NPC. Were you able to procure a suitable core? Ah yes, this will do nicely. Enough to create a decent sized dose at any rate. I've gathered together the other ingredients, so all that's left to do is deliver them in the hands of an experienced alchemist. But Arya must be wondering where we are. Why don't you go on ahead to Idle Shatter and avail her of our progress? I'll meet you there as soon as I'm finished haggling with the potion mixers in Noldar. What kind of potion? It's supposed to help with the hunger? That would be one less worry then. Thanks, Rune. We'll be back soon. I am returned. Arya, pray drink this concoction now. I shall tell you of our discoveries in Girabanya. By the gods. The taste was not exactly pleasant, but I already feel much recovered. It's as if a cool stream of water was poured on the fire in my chest. I don't know how to thank you. Your smile is the finest reward we could ask for, but I ask that you do not become complacent. That tonic was merely meant to help replenish your depleted ether. Do not undo the underlying affliction. I understand. If I exhaust my mana again, I will be back where I was, a savage controlled by hunger, which means I should still give up on training for now. Do you think Lambert infused me with poison blood when I was held captive? According to what I found in Yellow Jacket's incident records, the span of time that elapsed between your kidnapping and subsequent rescue was not terribly long. And for much of your ordeal, you were shut inside the box. It seems unlikely that there was sufficient opportunity to perform a highly complicated and dangerous ritual. No, we must look elsewhere for the truth behind your condition. You must let me help you. If it allows me to begin practicing magic again, even just one day earlier, it's torture watching the moments pass. Wasting time, it could be using to catch up to you. You'll get there. Eventually. I'll certainly try, though I'm not sure what help I'll be. I think we'll have our suffering friend delve into the scrolls for us. So the Australians have left behind a variable mountain of lore through which we can dig for answers. Arya, I shall leave you to your training. After all, you might just give Arya an ever-growing peak to look up to. Yay! And now wait for them all to load again. Nightkin. Greetings, Arya. Arya and I have begun wading through a sea of ancient texts, but we've yet to fish out any promising cures for her condition. Did, however, recall something which may help narrow down our search. Long ago, Lambert had one particular book which he would read with uncommon intensity. I've forgotten the title now, but I do remember that inside were scrawled the memoirs of a deranged killer who was executed as a heretic in Ishgard. This criminal is said to have committed a murder on a number of ritualistic murders, all carried out with one most peculiar form of thaumaturgy. I merely thought it a vulgar choice of reading material at the time, but now I wonder if that peculiar form of thaumaturgy was what kept Lambert glued to its pages. It sounds positively awful. You might just give us the clues we've been missing. I'll see if I can't track down those memoirs down. Understands quite a rare volume, and when it comes to hunting down elusive treasures, it may be worth consulting a professional treasure hunter. Arya, are you acquainted with Midnight Dew? I'm going to take Arya and pay her a visit. I'll try my hand at a different route. It's a long shot, but Rowena is only to stock a truly eclectic range of flavors. It's you. Something you need? A heretic's memoirs for the young lady here? I have an odd request, but who am I to judge? Oh, so you're working with Runtia then? I thought you wanted it for some tasteless personal collection. Let me think now. Nature Guardian, Heretic, Ritualistic Killings. Oh, hells, it couldn't be. Well, my fellow salvagers was just telling tales of treasure he'd spied in the Great Google Library. A rare book called Nightkin. Claims he glimpsed the title as he was running for his life through Rhapsody's Quadrangle. It is a sought-after tome for collectors of the macabre, said to be written by an Ishgardian murderer who believed himself some manner of demon. Half a diary, half a grimoire, chock full of bloody lunacy. Well, it certainly fits the description. We should head back to Rowena's and share the news with Ruin. Thank you for your help, Midnight. Alright. Yes, Nightkin. That was the title. Written by a killer who thought himself born of fiends. Such a belief was certainly Brandon McCrae's heretic in Ishgard, but I suspect the truth is he was much like Lambert. May should delve too deeply into forbidden arts. And you said the book was seen in the Great Google Library? I've not entered that place since the Charlie's a part of this land. What of you, Arya? You know. Like the back of your hand, eh? When I vote you to be our guide. I hadn't known the library's guardians had turned hostile. I'm sorry, Arya, but you will have to remain behind. Wasn't putting you in a situation where you might be forced to fling spells. Oh, I would have liked to have seen those fable shells, but you're right, of course. Come, Arya, let's hurry through the hinterlands ere some intrepid scavenger makes away with our prize. Oh, hello, solo instance. I shouldn't be surprised, though. Alright, let's let all the ones we're inside. We'll make straight for the Rhapsody's quadrangle and leave as soon as we've acquired the town. Well, I remember the book Lambard would read was of a fair thickness, bound in leather covers. Hopefully it will not be too difficult to find. Oh, thanks. We got to skip most of it. This is more layered than library now. Lead the way, friends. I should just go crazy how I do stuff, fine. I'm not level 70, I'm level 67. And for some reason I can't walk right through books. So you could just kind of skip over them, I guess. To me. Do not appreciate. So, the AoEs on Red Mage are actually new to Shadowbringers. The Bear Thunder 2 and Referral 2. So, they wouldn't have been here when this instance was initially made. This is a side effect of one collection, but these guardians seem a touch overzealous. Thank you. I don't want to stop casting it. If you get what I mean. Tomes here. Also, why Rune does not have the AoEs. See, how long did your Bear Cure just take to cast? Because that was a really long time. Alright, not much further. Of course, these come together. Well, at least you fully resist that paralyzed level 5 petrify. Well, that wouldn't hit us anyway. I almost went to look back there for a treasure chest because my mind was like, ooh, we're in Google. Quadrangle is top ahead, not just a little further now. Kind of being lazy Red Mage right now. Doesn't matter that much. It's not too bad. Okay, there's glowies. Just will only end in battle. Also, the last pile of books we checked. Here we are. Now to find the book. In the year 960, the Essex Astral Era, murder did occur wherein a member of the clergy was struck down by a knight of common birth. The knight, whose name was Trefaniel, wet his blade in the priest's blood after witnessing the unspeakable abuse of an orphan waif under the pretense of an exorcism. May his conviction in the face of corrupted faith be praised. Well, that's not what we're looking for. The pages contain detailed pictures of female deities in various stages of undress. No male deities appear to be included in this collection. No, not that one. During the Thorn Dynasty, a series of unsolved killings shook the very foundations of Ul'dah. The murderer was so named for the practice of leaving a card from the deck of Arcana by the bloody bodies of the slain. Officials publicly suggested that the murderer selected targets based on divination. Several key figures of a faction that opposed the royal house were prominent amongst the victims. However, it was whispered that the seemingly random slaughter was merely a cover for political assassinations. Not that one. The ink is faded to point of illegibility. Don't you read every page, my friend. Today visited Twellswood, Lady Amandine of the D'Artanicourt, a regular patron of mine, bid me call upon her household. I set off with confidence, my latest masterpiece in hand, but it was within the walls of Hawk Manor that I beheld the true pinnacle of perfection. Oh, look! The Rose Guardian. What is this batch of this nuisance? That'd be annoying, not being level 67. You don't get our level 68 skill. Alright, I'll stop being a little less lazy this time. That's the cutting part about this. Level 68. I guess this may as well be the Google boss, huh? Almost. Almost a Google boss. Got the sparks anyway. Thank you for being ever so slow to heal me. Oh, here. Comes forth or of its ilk, step in the circles to break the summons. Dude, you are like so slow. You had like 5 on us if I had relied on you getting half of them. Also, he's like standing in stuff. Oh my goodness. This guy. Oh no. Here we go with the goal. Also, those aren't going away, and he went right back towards the Debbie. Oh, no, no, it went away. It went away. Oh my gosh. I take it back. It did go away. I almost have it. And it's sorry tail. I would, but you know. Dude, you are standing in every AoE. Oh, hey, look. A pile of books dropped. The book of Behemoth has fallen, and it appears its prize for him within his valley. I am descended of demons, a scion of tainted blood. It is for my brethren born into darkness, for the Nightkin, that I pen these words. The holy men will insist my teaching are madness, the ravings of a deranged killer. We shall learn that all I scribe henceforth is eldritch truth, and their faith the twisted lie. Yes, we found it. There can be no mistake. We need to tarry in this place. I freed my fill of moldy parchment. Hello. You did well in there, Arya. I've never known acquiring a book from a library would be such a strenuous endeavor. May I see the tome? Yes, the author does certainly seem convinced of his demonic heritage. I can see how the clergy of the time would have passed these writings off as a heretic's delusion. The spellcraft contained within is odd but incoherent rambling. Within his memoirs, this mage has provided specific instructions on the workings of forbidden sorcery. Little wonder that Lambert spent so much of his time studying the tome's secrets. But there is more, much more. Let's return to Idleshire. Arya needs to hear this. I've just finished looking through the last pages of the Nightkin. There were truths I discovered which made it difficult to continue, but amongst a mounting sense of horror, I found hope. Thus I bid you listen until the end of my tale. I shall begin with the author himself. So this man who wrote the Nightkin was not merely some disturbed killer, but a mage who had mastered the arts of the ancients. Exactly so. A century ago in Ishgard, this monster in mortal guise devoured all manner of forgotten texts, teaching himself everything from red magic to Maki summoning rituals. The secret to his seemingly inexhaustible power lies in his bloodline. He was directly descended from a Maki archmagus who had ingested the lifeblood of the Void-Sent Queen Lilith. In fact, it was with this very archmagus that the vile practice of infusing oneself with Void-Sent blood first began. I believe I told you how the Red Mages later outlawed these rituals. The damage had already been done. Lilith's insidious energies had been passed on to the archmagus heirs, This clan of ether-drinking spellcasters became known as those who are born in the darkness, the Night Kin. The revelation which truly shook me, however, was yet to come. I discovered that Lambert was a scion of the Night King clan, and quite likely, so are you, Arya. The book's author was of the Calawise family, a surname shared by Lambert. With no small amount of trepidation, I determined to look once more into your family records, and learned that the Calawise name was also prevalent on your mother's side. This can be no coincidence. Are you saying that poison blood runs through my veins? It explains your preternaturally strong affinity for black magics. When I remembered that Lambert was of a similar arcane disposition, the connection is even more obvious. He had no need to ingest fiendish blood. He was simply awoke the corruption which had always lurked within him. Rituals for doing so were clearly written in the pages of the Nightkin. Were these rituals performed upon me too? Again, it is doubtful considering the complex requirements. My theory is that your latent talents were stirred into wakefulness quite by accident through your induction into the ranks of the Red. I wonder, however, why the same awakening that took years for Lambert occurred so swiftly in you. An innate affinity, mayhem? Whatever the case, that this unstable condition was triggered by your desire for control certainly explains Lambert's parting barb about the injustice of your fate. But all is not lost. There is a way to undo the curse of your lineage. The first Calawise drew Lilith into our physical world by providing a mortal host for her soul to possess. He stood unflinching before the fiendish queen he had summoned and forged with her a bargain of blood and darkness. Once the archmages had partaken of her essence, however, and trapped her inside a heavily glyphed box. Her material form thus captured, Lilith was unable to return to her shadowy realm. It was written that her imprisonment on this plane of existence was a necessary act, was the potency where blood began to wane. Do you understand what this means, Arya? I think so. The corruption inside me will last only as long as the Voidsent Queen remains in our world. Oh, I see. We need to find the box and banish Lilith back into the void. Exactly right. Defeat the Voidsent and the curse upon your blood is lifted. Of course, a creature of Lilith's stature would ordinarily present a near insurmountable challenge. We are fortunate then that the summoner bound her essence to a feeble vessel to prevent her from manifesting her full power. We few should stand a chance against this lesser incarnation. Reading hard. Now it appears that the author succeeded in tracking down Lilith's prison, and though the book makes no mention of the event, it is entirely possible that the box passed into his possession. Our surest bet would be follow in his footsteps. Rush and prepare, my friends. We have an exciting adventure ahead of us. Child of Lilith. Arya, your fellow son has had the most astonishing dream. Why don't you tell her about it, Arya? So disturbingly vivid, I dreamed of the man who wrote the Nightkin. In a corner of the house in which he had hid away from the world, he kept a coffin-like box. Black as night it was, its sides marked with jagged lines of purple. As he watched over it, unblinking, an inquisitor broke through the door with a company of knights. Half the soldiers were ordered to haul the man away to the tribunal, while the other half seized the coffin. The coffin you described is the very image of a Maki tool of containment. It is as if you saw a vision of past events. It's probably just a nightmare brought on by the tales of those memoirs. Well, as things stand, your dream is the best lead the memoirs have given us. Let's pay a visit to the tribunal in Ishgard. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, I say. That's not the NPC I need. On. No, we're not pressing the man for details. That's a Dark Knight quest. We don't want those. Arya, thank the gods. This officious bureaucrat refuses to allow me to access their records. Mayhap he will listen to you. Arya, did you say? What strange coincidence you bear the same name as... it is you! In the flesh! Apologies for not recognizing you sooner. Whatever the hero of Ishkar requires, we shall not hesitate to provide. This was in regards to the heretic killer who left those awful memoirs, yes. Your request shall be given the highest priority. Pray understand, however, that records of objects seized in the previous century are not immediately at hand. It may take some time to scour the archives. Just like that, eh? A moment ago, you ready to cast me out into the snow. Mayhap you should take Arya on this tour of the city. I'll stay here with our new friend and help guide his search. I suppose we would just be in the way here. Can we go to Lost Vigil? I hear the view is spectacular. Sure. This is amazing! I was told you could look over the entire city from up here, and I couldn't wait to see it for myself. So you are fond of high places, then? If they come with a view such as this, I am. I would ask why you keep asking me that, but I'm afraid the answer will lead to even stranger questions. To be honest, though, I want to burn this first sight of Ishkar in my mind, to fill the empty spaces in my memory with the wonderful vistas. When you first rescued me, I knew not who I was or where I belonged. As I've said before, I scarcely felt that I existed. But the well of my memories is no longer empty. Though it has been but a small fraction of my life, my journey with you has shaped me into what I am now. So you can understand why I'm so eager to return to our training. Red Magic has given me the power to fight against the fate that would have left me hollow. Nope, we're not skipping. So just because I hit the wrong key. Arya! Arya! We have learned the resting place of Lilith's prison. As incredible as it may seem, the coffin from your dream matched the description of the heretic's box, purple lines and all. The Inquisitors were apparently so unnerved by its felt energies that they cast the thing into a ravine. The place in question is known by the delightful name of Witch Drop, and is to be found in the core of the Central Highlands. It's one of the Void Center, so I'm told. Shall we? Dragonhead. Ravine? No, not ravine. Just looking into the ravine, I guess. The chasm is crawling with fiends just as described. Are they drawn by a Lilith's dark essence, I wonder? Let's ascend to its depths and begin digging. Mayhap the very power which attracts the poison will help guide our efforts. Oh, you will be able to follow us down there, won't you, Arya? I seem to recall you had a crippling fear of ghosts and spirits. What? No, I'm fine. There are no skeletons or specters here, so I'll be fine. Perfectly fine. So fine, you felt the need to tell me 3 times? Well, considering your current troubles with spellcasting, you best stay close to me in case. I'll just fly over to this ravine real quick if you don't mind. The good old, Zara, not Zara. Gosh, the S rank jumping ravine. Oh, this coffin lies buried beneath the cell. Wow, first try. Only one bearing my blood gift may break the seal. Slay this pretender! Oh, hello. Hello, thralls to Jane. I gonna make you fly back? No, there's just a coffin sitting here on the ground. Yeah, no problem at all. Oh, Safe It! That's the S-Rank's name. That's what I was trying to think of. I think it's Farah, because, you know, Farah, the Fate. No, Safe It. Oh, you're just all the way over here, huh? There's a shallow amount of snow, you say? Extraordinary! Only one bearing my blood gift? Because mysterious voice belonged to Lilith herself? I try opening the coffin if the voice is telling the truth, and I'm the only one who can. Very well, Arya. Lead us to your dig site. Fine, we'll probably go the likely intended way here. I guess that was easier, wasn't it? Looks just as it did in my dream. I'm gonna open the lid. Feel the waves of malice even through the wars. This is no lowly imp. Proceed with caution, Arya. Lilith may be in a weakened state, but she's still a queen amongst her kind. Let us not be caught unprepared. God's above. At last I am free from that miserable prison. The 1,000 years of scheming cometh to fruition. Yield unto me thy vessel, child. Thou shalt be host in mine immortal glory. Host? You seek to possess Arya's body? A masterpiece for centuries. For generations have I gathered the dreams of my blood gifted, bringing them together and strengthening their line. When at last the chosen one was born, I sent another to secure my precious vessel. He commanded his own puppets, never knowing he was mine. Lambard. Heed me, child, my darling creation. I am the reason for thine existence, for entanglement of thy sires, for thy deliverance unto solitude. Do not listen, Arya. Her words are poison. Come! Deny not thy destiny. Thy life was molded by my hand. This has always meant to happen. My parents, my uncle, all of it. Squeech. Arya, no! Arya moved as if in trance. Lilith must have some hold over those to bear her blood. It was Arya's dream that led us here, into a trap. We are to believe that hissing serpent. This meeting was 1,000 years in the making. But all is not lost. See how she did not immediately claim Arya's body for her own? If we understand of such things, in order to possess a mortal host, Lilith must conduct a ritual of exacting preparations. There is time yet to deduce the location to which he fled. Let us return to the pillars and consider the possibilities. Lilith's words yet echo in my ears. Deny not thy destiny, thy life was molded by my hand. Arya became a Red Mage to gain control over her fate, and I'll be damned if we abandon her to this one. First things first, we must expand every effort towards finding the place where the Voidson has taken our colleague. Ritual preparations will not take forever. With heart and steel. Arya, I've decided we should go to the Thaumaturgist Guild in Ul'dah with help with tracking Arya, of course. I've been doing some research in the Voidson possessions, and as I suspected, the process is not a simple one. Even so, I doubt we have time for me to become a fully fledged expert on the subject. We need one right now. The Thaumaturgists are one of the few organizations familiar with our quarry. Considering how they are also the modern successors to the arcane knowledge of Mach, their shells may even hold ancient lore that could tell us more about Lilith. Let's be away. Arya, it's just been explaining our woes to Prelate Yayake here. Welcome to the Thaumaturgist Guild. I shall do what I can to aid you. Now then, the tomes with passages pertaining to the Voids of Lilith are all forbidden occult works. Abhorrent volumes chained to the shelves in our deepest archives, never going to see the light of day. Just pop back there and grab one or two. If you could wait over there for a moment. By foul, she's even more sinister than I imagined. With no mention of her presence in the past millennium I thought Lilith destroyed, it would seem she's very much alive and exceedingly dangerous. Her most fearsome aspect is the power to enslave a person's will. If we include all those with even a whisper of her essence within their veins, she has slithered inside the minds of a veritable army. The sigil employed by this Lambert of yours is a second-hand manifestation of Lilith's ability. He would but need to coat a tool with his tainted blood and engrave her name in the flesh of his victims to create unthinking puppets you describe. And that was but a faint echo of her true power? Correct. The power she will not hesitate to bring to bear on the mortals she so despises. Archmage's callow wise made doubly sure of that when he lured her into his trap. As well as the talent for draining the life force of her prey, Lilith is also known for her spitting venom. Truly hideous opponent. But the Archmages came prepared with potent antidotes. Undone by her summoner's treachery and the limitation of her mortal host, Lilith found herself divested of her more beloved rod and seal within the Maki sarcophagus, and then spent the next 1,000 years plotting her escape. It is as you say, but mere freedom is not her endgame. Above all else, I imagine Lilith desires a form which allows her to manifest the fullness of her terrible power. She means to reinvest her soul within the perfect vessel and thus enhance the strength of her incarnation by an order of magnitude. The perfect vessel. Lilith carefully orchestrated Arya's conception over the span of centuries. If we do not impose her now, I dread to think what havoc such a cunning and powerful fiend could wreak upon Eorzea. Look what she has accomplished already. So subtle were her manipulations that not a single one of the Nightkin realized her plan or sought to destroy her. Well, this has all been very enlightening, but we are still no closer to finding Arya. Have you any ideas? In order to invest herself within the new host, we'll need to recreate the conditions of her original summoning as faithfully as possible. Name of the stars, weather, location, that sort of thing. The location I can tell you, assuming the ground itself hasn't fallen into the abyss, Lilith will take your friend to a summoning circle in the ruined city of Mach. So you've been to the Weeping City? No getting there without an airship and a pilot, eh? Oh, but not to worry. We know the very person who can help us on that count. Deputy President Jessie of the Garland Ironworks. I shall contact her immediately. Now just wait for everything to load back in again. I've been in touch with Jessie. After that assassination business, as she puts it, she was more than happy to lend us a company ship. Prelate Yayake, you've been an immense help. How can we repay you? That won't be necessary. The guild was already richly compensated by a certain merchant. He requested we aid any mages of the Red who might happen to seek our knowledge. Are you acquainted with the Master Wilkin? It would seem he's been quite generous and spent everything his wealth around the old dog. I'm sure you encounter no refusals or inconveniences. Oh, well, the gratitude of a wealthy merchant is a fine thing to have. Right, this time we are off to Revenant's Toll. Jesse will be waiting. Don't you forget to stock some antidotes. I'll be terribly disappointed to hear you die at Dolores Venom after the tale I told you. Basically, they're like, you should probably buy some antidotes. I feel like the Alchemist Guild probably has it. If I remember right, I need like 2 when I did this, and it was really not that bad. I swear, tell me you don't sell antidotes here at the Alchemist Guild. Like, you start again. Oh, how convenient. There's like 1 up for 1 gil, and a bunch up for 25 gil, which is cheaper than an NPC anyway. Cool. Thanks, Market Board, for being Market Boardy. Right over there. Students told me this story and I have an airship ready to fly. I'm politely into the swamp myself. I said I'd return the favor to Arya and I don't go back on my promises. Shall we go? I'm moored on the northern bank of the lake. Arya, the plan is simple. We cut through the ruins as quickly as we can and unleash merry hells on the Void Sent Queen. The outcome of this battle will decide Arya's fate. Bring everything you have and make sure that includes a vial or 2 of antidote. I think they just included it as a duty action or something, but I guess they were like, oh, we should make antidotes actually useful, so here you are. Enjoy. Right then, got your gear, empty your blather, and make straight for the ruins monk. I'm surprised there wasn't, got your antidotes? All aboard, folks! I don't know much about this demon witch, but you send her back to the void. I want to see Arya safe and sound. Lilith only has 1 chance at this ritual, but once she knows we're there to stop her, she may begin the ceremony anyway. Conditions be damned. If that happens, we must defeat the fiend ere she forces her soul into Arya's body. We'll triumph over Lilith and free our companion from her curse. Must rescue Arya before it's too late. I guess this quest wouldn't make much sense if you hadn't done the Raid series, huh? But then sure, no time for subtlety. No, you would be spread out just enough, wouldn't you? Cut through these pests, yeah. Again, there's no item level sync on this since, well, I only did that to Gunbreaker and Dancer. And the Shadowbringer's jobs. Actually started introducing item level sync on solo instances. I felt that into this aura before. Lilith is here. Okay, it's right here. It would be at 3940. Skeleton vermin, that vessel is mine. Oh, hey, can you force a transference? So, there's our level 68 kill. There, Flare. So you get this after you finish up a successful combo, and if that element is the lower of your two, you automatically get your next stage. So I feel the same as Lambert. You really don't want to use it if you are, let's see, for centuries have I planned this moment, your souls will adorn my house. Our failure perished. Here's so upset her. Keep wearing her down. Yeah, so you can see, like, I did get it there, just because you still have the chance to get it, it's just not guaranteed. And this includes if you are at not even. You can, of course, force it with acceleration. And I'll just say now, the reward for level 70 quest is the white side. Sibling, pestilence, maggots, let's slay this monster and snake. Arya home. I totally skipped the healer. Ow. White rod. There's that poison. And just we anticipate. Now it's time to use that antidote. Cool. I'll use that antidote as she dies. She's not bothered. I'm too overcured for it to matter. So whereas Gunbreaker and presumably Dancer were built with this kind of gear in mind, Red Mage and Astrologian were not. They were built with base starting 4.0 gear in mind. Arya, Lilith is slain. Come back to us now. Damn, why won't she wake? Where am I? Where is everyone? I see. This is my own mind. I'm being forced aside by that fiend. Yes! Accept thy fate, child. Mine own form was destroyed, but within thy vessel has my soul taken refuge. Once thy will has diminished into oblivion, mine essence shall transform this shell. I will rise anew, glorious and complete. Then shall I wreak my vengeance upon all the children of man. Seek not to defy me, my darling creation. Surrender to the void. Surrender to me. Lilith created me to accept this fate, as well as always meant to be. Give me, Arya. There were so many more memories I'd hoped to make. Farewell. No, this cannot be all there is. One more. I want to live. Do not torture thyself, child. Your will is forfeit. Thy fate is sealed. I took aside my own fate. Arya, welcome back, my friend. Arya, look out! Lilith is still here. Your soul is safe now. Lilith is gone. You triumphed over her at the last. Chance I wouldn't have had if you'd not destroyed her in the flesh. With the stout heart and the power of red magic, there is no foe we cannot overcome. As the two of you have so amply proven. Now let's put this dreary room behind us, but have a care for your surroundings. This old city is home to more than sinister voids, so. Wow, my camera! We did it, Arya! This was a hard-won battle, but your heart and steel carry the day. And we must express our gratitude to Jesse for conveying us to the ruins in the first place. Nay, as we're returning the favor, unlike certain presidents I could mention, I don't like to leave the books unbalanced. Now, I'd best be getting this girl back to the company docks, so this is farewell for me. Take care, Jesse, and thank you. Shall we head back to town, then? Whew. I'm not flying. I'm lazy. Okay. I'll admit it. There's not like a successful rescue attempt to put a smile on my face. It's wonderful to have our companion back, safe and sound. It's wonderful to be back. I cannot wait to begin my training once more. Arya, about your training. Surely you felt the change within yourself? Your proclivity for spellcasting was a property of Lilith's blood. Now that her corruption has faded from your veins, so too has your aptitude for the arcane. Yes, I feel the difference. My ether is so weak now that I doubt I could cast even the simplest of magics. I wondered how you would take the news, but you seem almost happy? I am! This way I can study magic from scratch and know that all my achievements will truly be mine. Of course, this means I'll have a lot more work to do before I can catch up to Arya. But having such a distant goal is what will be what pushes me to endure the training ahead. Still not worth it. I promise I won't be running into danger. Not until I've mastered a little more magic at least. You've the heart of a Red Mage, that's for certain. Start yourself off with the basics of thaumaturgy and conjuring. A foundation you've built yourself will be far more stable than the instinctual power you possessed before. And when you've grasped the fundamentals, I can start your training in red magic again. I look forward to that day, Rune. As for you, Arya, you've grown stronger than ever. You've known for some time now that the magic of a red mage are fueled by the caster's own ether. Once you have your spells, it is a reflection of your indomitable spirit. I dare say that the soul crystal you bear will reward your dedication to the art by granting you new knowledge. This thus concludes my stint as mentor from the now. Arya, you have graduated from my lessons. On Arya, you must ready yourself to begin all over again. You have flung yourself into revolution's smoldering ashes and reignited the fires of Alamigo's glory. Remember the light you brought with that liberation when you next plunge ahead into darkness. Rune, speak as if you mean to leave us. I must return to my pilgrimage, but fear not. Those who defy the tides of destiny are always drawn together, sooner or later. And so this is not farewell, merely a temporary parting of ways. Eagerly do I await the day our paths cross again, my friends. Whew. So now we learned Ver Holy. Like I said, this is the white magic version of Ver Flare. And yeah, so you just want to use, as long as you're at least level 70, you want to use the one that meets whichever one is lower. It only is available after you finish your combo, and it automatically replaces Ver Arrow and Ver Fire. So, anyways, you must finish Shadowbringers and complete the world quest, A Tearful Reunion. So, as of this point, this is where I have been planning originally before Endwalker was announced that Shadowbringers would start. However, with Endwalker, they're adding another role quest, which we'll get into far more when we actually are in Shadowbringers. Add another role quest, which will require me to have a ranged character. So when I finish the Dancer quest, it's still going to be the same role quest as Monk, but that's going to be different than Endwalker. So, yeah, no, thanks, Square. Anyways, next time we will take on the Dancer quest. I can just change it now because it's not a spoiler, because there's only one job left. Yeah. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing if you really enjoyed it. Consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps her keep being content like this and more. You'll find the links for that in the description, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching. And until next time, this is rinimt, signing out.